Americans, your government is stealing your money and your freedom. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Easter Sunday, April the 9th, and happy Easter, happy Passover to everybody, and hope you're having a great weekend. And in the meantime, we are being ripped off with every law, every change, every bit that this government has a chance to do. They are stealing right out of your pocket. And they are not only stealing your money, but they are stealing your freedom. And of course, as we can continue to watch, from the new laws that they're trying to put on the books to the digital currency, they're taking away every opportunity you have. And of course, the elites who love what's going on here, because of course they discourage independent thought. And, this is an issue that we continue to watch as they continue to try to create a need for themselves. And of course, the voters are doing themselves no good by watching and standing by as this is happening right before your very eyes. It's not even an illusion. It is a fact. Okay, take a look at just what happened in Chicago and in Wisconsin, where they just put in two really overly progressive mayors. Okay, Chicago, and you can look for more likely more murders, more rioting, more problems, and of course more taxes for the privilege to stay there. It's not that Chicago isn't already one of the most taxed cities, but they're going to charge you more, okay, to sit around and take your life in your hands every single day as you walk down the street, because of course the Chicago is one of the capitals of murder in this country, and of course yet you Chicagoans voted in this progressive who is probably going to be worse than Lori Lightfoot. So we can continue to hide ourselves from what's going on, or we can try to do something. And one of the ways that you do something in this country is you vote, and you think about who you're voting for. And if you continue to think that you're getting for something for nothing, you are not. You are paying for it. The middle class is paying for it. Okay, I mean, this uber progressive mayor in Chicago and in Wisconsin is scary when you look at what's going on and you look at the past history of what we've just lived through over the last few years. The American mind is becoming institutionalized. And what I mean by that is that we're being trained to all be the same, where there is no desire to create new business, to create new companies, to create competition, so that we can continue to be the greatest country in the world. Okay, we are becoming just like everybody else. And as an American, that is not what I want to see. As an American, I think there's nothing better than the ability to be able to move forward and create something that is better than somebody else's. So first of all, it keeps competition, it keeps our products getting better, and it keeps our prices lower because of competition. Well, we don't have much of that anymore. And a big portion of that is due to the Biden administration, the haters of America. Okay, and of course, as Biden gets questioned on things like Afghanistan and other things, he runs off to a vacation. Now, again, if that's what you want from your president, well, then I guess what you want. You got shit. You got the worst piece of garbage ever to be in the president's in the White House. Okay, you have a racist, a Jew hater, a guy that is as dumb as a post, but yet you guys voted him in, so what can I tell you? Okay, and you continue to see crises mounting On a daily basis, we have the commercial real estate implosion, which of course was created by COVID, which now allowed more people to stay home. And of course, once you get them home, they become much more expendable. And of course, which is, although we had a jobs report on Friday, and God knows why they would release a jobs number on Friday, but on a Good Friday, but they did. And of course, as has been typical, although they'll tell you it was good, it is not very good. It is going to, I think, continue to keep the Fed hawkish. I think it's going to have to continue to keep the Fed to hike rates. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with hiking rates if it's warranted. I think this is the problem. If we go back to 1776, the reason there was a Revolutionary War is because we had taxation without representation. Well, what do you think you're getting now? Okay, taxes continue to go up. We saw last week, Sunday night into Monday, that Saudi Arabia cut production. The criminals from OPEC cut production of oil, spiking prices, which of course you heard this here about 2 months ago, and I told you this was going to happen. Now, I think there's going to be one more big cut because they were a little early for me, but I think they're prepping you to tell you that they're going to stick it up your ass one more time right before the driving season. But when you do the metrics, what is that going to do to your inflation indicators? Considering that 80% of everything we do is related to fossil fuels, what do you think that's going to do to the cost of goods and services? And of course, we know that no American his salary is keeping up. Okay, our job cuts are up 15% in March, and 319% from year over year. So how good is this administration doing with creating jobs? Okay, we have McDonald's, an American staple. Okay, McDonald's Corporation started in Des Plaines, Illinois, had their home office in Oak Brook forever. They are now leaving the United States of America, and have fired basically the entire staff that was in Oak Brook. So McDonald's, although obviously the restaurants aren't moving, but the McDonald's Corporation is leaving the United States of America. Now, if that doesn't tell you something, I mean, McDonald's is American as apple pie. If they're willing to leave this country, what is that telling you? Okay, I mean, it's an amazing fact that we continue to watch what's going on. And of course, if you look at outflows from banks and you look at deposits, the spread was a negative $275 billion in March. Okay, which means that Americans either aren't saving or they don't trust banks. Well, that's probably a little bit of both. I mean, we know the banks are phony. And of course, when you know that the Federal Reserve is on standby to bail your ass out for being a criminal and for stealing, money, because you know that you can lend out as much as you want because the Federal Reserve is going to be there to bail you out, which means that the American taxpayer is going to be there to bail you out. I think that you've got some very, very major issues here. Not to mention what's going on with some of the pension plans, especially in Philadelphia, who are now defunding the policeman's pension. Okay, and you want to talk about a shithole, okay? And what's going on in Philadelphia? I mean, there's plenty of violence there, and of course, there's a lot of inner city, like any other big city, and there are a lot of issues going on, and of course, nobody cares about the stealing, the shoplifting, the robberies. You can't do anything about it. It is amazing that here in Vegas, over the last 3 weeks, 3 Walgreens were robbed 3 times. The same 3. Okay, Now, and nobody wants to do anything about it. Now, so what is that telling you about defunding your police? Okay, are you not in favor of law and order? Have we stooped to the level that we believe that we're going to be protected by who? Okay, who is going to protect you when you're defunding your police? We need to be more involved with law and order. Okay, I mean, look, you think this is going to get better quickly? It is not. You are going to see much more violence and much more trouble because with the high inflation and with rates going to go higher. Now, again, I know what the Fed funds rate says. I can read. Okay, but I'm telling you that you are getting bad information and the markets are mispricing because the Fed, with this new cut in oil prices in production, creating higher prices, will put inflation back in a spiral. And that's if you believe the number that they're giving you, which was the last print, I think, was 6.5. We know that's a bunch of bullshit. We are no longer a manufacturing country. We are no longer self-sufficient. We have taken this country apart piece by piece. What Biden administration has done in 2 years is almost impossible. How much destruction that they have caused, how bad they've beat the crap out of this country, basically screwing you, the American people, not only out of your money, but out of your freedom. And if you think that is what you want to be, okay, if you want to be a little robot running around, okay, thinking the same as everybody else with basically no hope to get out of the hole, then you're probably now in the right place with what's going on. Because again, you are being institutionalized. And if you stand for it, shame on you. This is the United States of America, and we are still the best country in the world. But unfortunately, the others aren't catching up to us. We are dropping down to their level. And this is Bubba's Bottom Line. This is Todd Bubba Horowitz, and it is Easter Sunday, April the 9th. We're going to stop and have a break, and we'll be right back with more in our market report here on Bubba's Bottom Line. What's up, kids? Happy Easter, happy Passover. Hope all is well. And of course, as you know, this show has a couple of sponsors and their brokerage partners. And of course, just in full disclosure, I do have many brokers, but I do have two that I prefer. And obviously, as you know, you do know the reasons. But if you don't remember, of course, there's Capital Trading Group, who is our partner in Day Trader's Dream and some of our futures and commodities trading. And of course, they've got by far the best customer service in the industry. They take care of their customers. They take care of my members. And that's all I care about. They're not the most expensive. They're not the cheapest, but they are by far the least inexpensive for somebody who does letter of direction trading. So check them out, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And that's scrolling on the side if you missed it. And of course, then there's Trade Your Brokerage, who saves me $100,000 a year in commission. They've got a great model. They take care of business for me. We can automate your trading if you choose to do so. It's not required. It doesn't cost you anymore. If you're a member of our equity portfolio program, then you can automate it if you choose at no cost from either us or a trader. And those who hedge, you can hedge and license the software to have that auto traded for you. Okay, but that's try.trader.com/Bubba. And again, that link is also on the side. And of course, our high school program, which is our last stitch effort to try to make it work. But again, dealing with the imbeciles of the United States of America right now and the unions, it's hard to give it away for free, okay, to help educate our youth. Of course, I guess we're not really interested in free thinking, but if you want to help us out, that link is in the bottom, our high school investing. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and our market report. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, April the 9th. And of course, every week we give you our market report. And, again, pretty quiet. Markets still trying to lean a little bit higher. Again, I think the next big move will be lower. I think the next big move, when we get some action out, that doesn't mean it's going to be tomorrow. Okay, it just means that I think that to get any real action, it's going to be down. In the meantime, the dollar continues to be lower. Now, we don't trade the dollar anymore, but if we did, we would be short. Again, this is Fed and fiat currency fraudulence. The euro currency, which continue to try to tick higher, same premise. Okay, it's like a race to the bottom, and it's each time they go up and down, they take a little bit more of your value away. But in the meantime, we are still long the euro currency. Bitcoin continues to try to charge higher, trying to get through that next 30,000 level. We continue to be long Bitcoin. The bonds and notes, as much as it's much to my chagrin that we're still long, but again, they're going higher. So who can argue? I think that again, interest rates are going to go higher and bonds are going to go a lot lower, and I think we'll catch on to that. And the longer they sit up here, the closer our sell point becomes. So that's reasonable. In the precious metals, gold and silver had a nice little up week, and gold's over 2,000 now, and silver's over 25, and we're still long, and I expect them to continue to go higher. And trust yourself and understand that pullbacks are good, are healthy. Platinum is over 1,000. Of course, we don't trade anymore because it's not liquid enough, but we would still be long it. And I think these are great physical places to buy as well. And trust me, I think you're going to need some physical metals because there's going to be a need for some form of alternate currency once the government goes total digital and wants you to turn in all your paper money. All right. In the copper is still kind of moving up a little bit. We're still long copper, and natural gas is threatening to go through $2 on the downside, and we're still short nat gas. And but if you look out in the curve, look at the contango formation, you'll see it's much more expensive in October than it is today. The grain markets, they continue to struggle a little bit. They had a little bit of action last week. I think they've seen the bottoms for at least the next few months, if not the year. And I still think that the commodity market itself is set up for a very big run to the upside. So I think that, again, we are long commodities, but grains along across the board. In the protein complex, cattle was once again higher, and hogs were once again lower. And again, I think that'll suddenly start to change too, as you look at the crude oil markets. And I don't know if I covered crude or not. Crude, I did mention that we had a big jump, and crude is over $80 again. And I think that probably by July we'll be over 100. Okay, and we are long crude here at the moment. In the softs, you've got cocoa was up and we're long. You had coffee. Cotton is sideways and we're short. Sugar is up and we're long. OJ is higher, we're long. Coffee is lower and we're short. So you can see that the trends are starting to play in some of these markets, but again, there's still a real lack of activity. There's a real lack of things to get too excited about. But I do think we're getting closer and closer to the time that these markets really start to move. So just, again, be careful, maintain discipline and patience, and you will be rewarded. This is Bubba's Online. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for our final break and come back with, of course, our commentary. And not much sporting action yet, but we'll come back with some more information for you. And this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Easter Sunday, the 9th of April. We'll be right back. Well, kids, again, of course, I'm not going to go through all the sponsorship and all this stuff, but again, there's the two brokers, and I do have other brokers, but trade your brokerage for options and equities, and Capital Trading Group for futures and commodities. All the information's on the side, and our high school program, which is scrolling on the bottom. And again, you want to help us out, if you want to help educate America and enough of this nonsense, it would be great to have you on the team. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line here on Sunday, April the 9th, Easter Sunday, and happy Passover and happy Easter to all. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz. It is Sunday, Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, happy Passover to all. And of course, as you know, every week I have a little bit of commentary for you. And this week, as I opened up with, I am so distressed about the freedoms that we are giving up. I am distressed about the way things are going in this country, that when we continue to see the government steal from us, and you make no mistake, they are stealing from you. Remember, Congress has taken 2 raises, one through COVID, one after. Okay. Now, with all the job cuts and with all of the issues in this country, why is Congress voting themselves raises? Okay. Why is our president on vacation when there's our tough questions that are being answered? And why is there 34 counts of charged against President Donald Trump, and they're still going after him 8 years after? And is it that they want him not to run that badly? Are they trying to avoid the competition of Donald Trump running? And that itself should lay something out to all of you. Okay. It remains with great sadness that we continue to see the United States of America deteriorate. It is a sad situation that the American people are letting this happen right in front of their very eyes, with all of these ridiculous agendas which really do not benefit the average American but penalizes them. And for my money, it is disgusting, it is sad, and I really feel bad for my children, my grandchildren, your children, and your grandchildren, and hopefully we'll get something done about this. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, Top Bubba Horowitz. It is Sunday, April the 9th. Happy Easter, happy Passover, and of course, enjoy the Masters. What a day yesterday with the rain and the cold. And but for all, enjoy, be careful, and remember that it depends on you to make change in this country. If we can do it together, we can affect change and bring the United States back to the wonderful country, the best in the world, and make it even better. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later. Bubba's Bottom Line.